the grim darkness of the future, there is only war. But even in a galaxy consumed by endless conflict, few warriors stand out like the Space Wolves. Ferocious, noble, and untamed, these are the Emperor's chosen executioners, bred in ice and blood, whose saga echoes across 10,000 years of war. The Space Wolves are the 6th Legion of the original 20 founded by the Emperor of Mankind. In High Gothic, they're the Legio Victrix, but to themselves, they're the Vlka Fenryka, the Wolves of Fenris, and Uvik, the original tongue of Fenris. Their role within the Imperium has always been unique. Where other legions wage war to conquer, the Wolves are the Emperor's Reapers, deployed to bring swift and violent end to those who defy his will. They are not diplomats, they're not surgeons, they're the axe to the traitor's throat. But don't mistake their savagery for chaos. Behind the growls and the fangs is a deep code of honor, loyalty, and ancient tradition. Every Space Wolf is not just a soldier, but a living saga. The Space Wolves call home on a planet called Fenris, a death world, one of the most hostile in the Imperium. Its geography is ever shifting, glaciers crack, oceans freeze overnight, volcanoes erupt without warning. It's a place where humanity shouldn't survive, but somehow it does. Tribes of Fenrisians live short, brutal lives, battling monsters, each other, and the world itself. Ice worms, krakens, and the legendary Fenrisian wolves roam freely. From birth, a Fenrisian must fight to survive. These harsh trials at a young age produce the perfect raw material for Space Marines. It is said that a man who can survive Fenris does not fear hell, because he has already lived in it. Leman Russ, the Wolf King, the Great Wolf, the Lord of Winter and War, is one of the Emperor's most mythic sons. Found on Fenris as an infant, Russ was raised by a pack of Thunderwolves before being adopted by King Thengir, ruler of the 13th tribe. From boy to warlord, Russ displayed unmatched strength, cunning, and charisma. His army of tribesmen eventually united Fenris, and when the Emperor arrived, Russ challenged him in combat, in wit, and in drink. He lost all three, and pledged eternal loyalty to the Emperor. Russ led his legion onto the Great Crusade, a brutal campaign of conquest and cleansing. He was not just a general, he was the Emperor's personal enforcer. When other legions wavered, Russ was sent in to make things right, through steel and blood. But in M31 he vanished, just after the Horus Heresy. Before leaving, he decided he would return to the Wolf Time, a final age of war. Many believed his return tied to the Imperium's last hope. Perhaps the most defining and most controversial moment in Space Wolf history was the burning of Prospero. The Emperor ordered Russ to apprehend his brother, Magnus the Red of the Thousand Suns, for tampering with forbidden sorcery, but Horus intervened, manipulating Russ into believing Magnus was already a traitor. What followed was not arrest, it was annihilation. The wolves descended on Prospero like a storm of ice and fire. Cities were razed, libraries burned, and the Thousand Suns were broken. The battle scarred both legions. The wolves came to loathe witchcraft even more. The Thousand Suns would never forgive, and Russ never fully recovered from the guilt. To this day, the wolves fight a secret war against the remnants of the Thousand Suns, many of whom now serve the Chaos God, Tzeentch. Unlike most chapters, the Space Wolves completely reject the Codex Astartes. Their structure is tribal and saga-based. The chapter is split into 13 great companies, each led by a powerful wolf lord like Ragnar Blackmane or Logan Grimnar. There are no captains or librarians in the Codex sense. Instead, there are skalds, wolf priests and rune priests, who act as spiritual guides and shamans, drawing on the warp through ancient Fenrisian rites. Each warrior is part of a living saga. Their deeds are sung in mead halls. Their armor is decorated with teeth, pelts, and ancient glyphs. Promotions is not about rank, it's about legend. Space wolves start as blood claws, young, aggressive warriors, and evolve into grey hunters, getting long fangs as they age. It's not linear, it's personal. But the blood of the wolf runs hot, and it runs cursed. The Canis Helix, a unique addition to their gene seed, grants the wolves their heightened senses, fangs, and ferocity, but it also carries a dark price, the curse of the Wulfen. Some wolves transformed into monstrous hybrids, part man, part beast. These Wulfen are consumed by primal instinct. For millennia they were hidden in the dungeons of the Fang, until the 13th Company returned. The 13th Company vanished during the heresy while pursuing chaos into the Eye of Terror. They returned 10,000 years later, mutated but alive, proving the Wulfen were not a curse but a prophecy. Now they fight beside their brothers, feared and revered as harbingers of the wolf time. Today the Space Wolves stand at a crossroads. The galaxy is split by the Great Rift. Demons walk openly. Gulliman. Look, I have a problem with whoever named this particular character within the Warhammer 40,000 universe. It's weird. It's written weird. No one's too sure how to say it. I'm just going to go with Gulliman and hope to God it's right. Anyway, where was I? Gulliman has returned, bringing back with him the Primaris Marines. Larger, stronger Astartes created from ancient gene technology. The wolves were wary. The necessity won out. Ragnar Blackmane was mortally wounded, only to rise again as a Primaris. These new warriors are now being woven into the ongoing saga of the Space Wolves. The wolves battle orcs on Armageddon, hunt heretics on Vigilus, and clash with the Thousand Suns once more. Their fangs are bared, their howls echo in the warp, and somewhere in the darkness, the Wolf King stirs. The Space Wolves are not just warriors, they are myth made flesh, keepers of old ways, defenders of humanity. The Emperor's fury made manifest. In a galaxy of cold logic and endless war, they are instinct, honor, and blood. Their saga is far from over, and when the stars burn low and the last war begins, the wolves will howl once more. If you enjoyed this, the first of my Warhammer 40,000 lore videos, please let me know in the comments below. Equally, if there is a particular faction you would like me to cover next, again, let me know in the comments down below. For now, until next time,